So, a couple of weeks ago, I released a video on Olivia Rodrigo, which I definitely recommend you check out if you haven't already. In the comments of said video, this guy named Jace Tout left a comment citing both her and Lil Nas X as the next generation of pop stars. And that got me to thinking. And I started to realize that Lil Nas X is actually one of the most interesting cases of pop stardom in recent memory. There's so much about him that's unique, and he's managed to forge such an interesting path to becoming a household name, so much so that I started thinking about making a video on him myself. After mulling it over for a little bit, unfortunately, I came to the conclusion that I might not have enough material to do so. Then that Jace guy I mentioned earlier messaged me on Twitter saying, making a Lil Nas X video would be a good idea. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I could be in the video too. And I was like, what? He was like, alright, I'm starting on my part already and I'll have it to you in a couple of days. And I was like, wait, I didn't consent to this. And he was like, you already made the blood oath, brother. The switch is being made right now. And I was like, what the fuck?
This is my channel now. I remember when I first discovered Lil Nas X. It was actually literally right before his mega song Old Town Road, in retrospect, blew the fuck up. I saw something on Twitter about this guy who just got signed to Columbia Records after a song of his blew up on a platform that I never heard about at the time called TikTok. I was like, what's a TikTok? Looking back now, I still wish I didn't know what the f a TikTok was, but that's besides the point. Lil Nas X struck me right away as a guy that I needed to follow because everything about him was both weird and genuine at the same time. And like the video says, I think that is why Lil Nas X works as well as he does. He is one of the most genuine people who is currently in the big time entertainment industry, to the point where just a little bit ago I almost called him a content creator, because that is how genuine he comes across. And I think there are three reasons, and if you look at all of them, you will see a man who knows exactly what he's doing but doesn't come across as weird or manipulative. Lil Nas X, again, is one of the most funny I think I've ever watched in the modern rap game today. I think an example of what I'm talking about is actually a couple of weeks ago. He posted a TikTok where he's saying he got pulled over. He recorded himself getting pulled over and made a funny TikTok about it. And I think that is what we would do. I know if I was in a position, I'd make a stupid TikTok about how I got pulled over. But Lil Nas X does it, and he's not trying to be relatable or whatever. He is just that funny in general. He is a funny person, and he uses memes to promote his music. And kind of speaking of promoting his music, the way that he promotes his music is phenomenal, and I think needs to be addressed more. Lil Nas X does what I feel like I do as a creator, where I will work on something for months at a time and I will promote it while I'm working on it. I'll release little snippets of it. I'll release little things here and there, and it works. It works because you are getting hyped for this song. It is in my opinion that I think if he didn't promote Montero or Call Me By Your Name as much as he did, it wouldn't have been such a smash hit. He knows what he's doing, but at the same time, again, he doesn't feel like a robot who is promoting his music. He feels like a person who's really proud of the work that he does. And I feel like that is a big part of Lil Nas X's whole thing, is that he is proud of everything he releases. I have not heard a Lil Nas X song that doesn't sound like he put his heart and soul into the track, because every song I hear from Lil Nas X is something groundbreaking and definable. And I think it's because he doesn't have a marketing team who is trying to make him into be one thing. He's not being controlled by anybody. He's just being him. And I think that is the perfect example of Lil Nas X. He's not afraid to be himself, despite when people may want to stop that. And that is the last thing I want to talk about. And this is something that is very important to me, because as a person who realized this year that he was bisexual, seeing Lil Nas X fully embrace his sexuality in the way that he does is remarkable. But it also doesn't come across as what I feel like a lot of celebrities who are gay or lesbian do, where it feels like they're trying to appease these people. And I feel like now, as people on YouTube are getting more genuine with everyone, celebrities are doing that in the same way. It just so happens that Lil Nas X appears to be on the front of that train because he grew up, like all of us, watching these creators be genuine on YouTube. But everything I just said goes to show that Lil Nas X is not only a marketing genius from his perspective, but he is the best person to be leading this charge because he is the most genuine. And that's how it should work. Being genuine should be good. Thank you for having me on, Entertainment. I appreciate it. Back to the video now, or is it ending? I don't know. Goodbye. Whoop!
Alright then. As much as I hate to say it, Jace is completely right. I've never seen a pop star succeed in being more relatable with the generation that he belongs to than Lil Nas X. In a world where the norm is to become famous and then talk about the things you've obtained when you get famous, he's making music about his experience in life and just being who he is. But even more than the content of his music, his approach to music is one of the most brilliant things that I've seen in a while. What I mean by that is this. Do you realize Lil Nas X hasn't released an album yet? He's released an EP, sure, and he was nominated for Album of the Year at the 2019 Grammys, but he hasn't released a studio album in the 2 years that he has been in the spotlight of American pop culture. Usually, musicians rush to put out content once they've hit the big time in order to avoid them fading into obscurity or becoming a one-hit wonder. The only artists that can generally get away with such an inconsistent release schedule are people with already established fan bases that are either nationwide or cult-like, such as Rihanna and Frank Ocean. But as we've established, Lil Nas X isn't just a normal artist and manages to find a way to completely change things about every month or so. The reason he's been able to do this is the strategic way he's released his music. If you take all of his charting singles, which is every single he's released aside from some remixes, and combine the amount of weeks they've been on the charts, you would get 114 weeks. So if we take the overlap out of the equation and just focus on the pure statistics, Lil Nas X has charted every single week except for 1 month since April 4th, 2019, which was the first week he charted. And he has done this with only 5 singles in total. I'll take a moment so you can process that. No wonder he hasn't released an album with that type of success. You don't even need to. The other thing that I find so interesting about Lil Nas X is the music itself. He's all over the place. 1 minute he's making country with Billy Ray Cyrus and Mason Ramsey, the next minute he's making hip hop with Cardi B and Nas, and then he's making a solo pop ballad, and not once does he ever seem like he's out of place on any track. It's very rare to see an artist attempt this level of dexterity in their catalog so early on in their career. You can't even call it development because he's not moving in one general direction. He's just hitting every single point on the board of genres that he aims for with pinpoint accuracy in a random and unpredictable manner. Regardless of how the quality of the music itself is viewed, there is no way in heck anyone can tell me that Old Town Road didn't feel like an authentic country song, and Montero didn't feel like a power ballad about love that someone like Rihanna could have made. I think that's also a facet that contributes to his authenticity. He's making what he wants to make, when he wants to make it, and moves in all aspects of his music like an independent artist, despite being signed to one of the biggest music labels of all time, Columbia Records. He's making this journey by himself, as himself, unabashedly, and I can't think of a better way to do it. Hey everyone, thank you for watching the video today. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Jace, who was in the video, obviously, as you could see. I will leave his link in the description, and look out for a video tomorrow exposing a collaborative project that we have in the works right now. Thank you so much to my producers, Carl McGee and Westa Kateki, and my producer, the BC Film Reviews. My Patreon is in the description if you're interested in contributing to my work, and my Twitter is in the description to get in touch with me. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.